They said the 401k was an experiment, and my generation, Generation X, were going to be the first ones who were going to see if they could successfully retire without a pension.
Generation X was like the guinea pigs, and they're kind of the first generation that is in this world where all of a sudden you've got to figure out your own retirement. You've got to take an active role.
Yeah, it's scary.
Hey, y'all, hey. So last week, CBS Sunday Morning, they did a whole special on retirement. And in that special, they talked about the fire movement. They talked about Social Security's insolvency. They talked about moving outside of the country. But they also had the father of the 401k, Ted Benno, who was being interviewed for this. Now, they kept it very unbiased, so it was quite lackluster. But one of the things that they said is that Generation X was pretty much going to be the first generation without pensions. Now, of course, in my 23 years of working in financial services, not only as a registered financial advisor, but working for a registered financial advisor for 12 and a half years, I know the narrative. The narrative is put money into your 401k, throw money into your 401k. Even Trump is talking about putting crypto into your 401k, right? However, as I'm looking through the comments, somebody said the right thing. They said, when you actually get to retirement age, you're going to put that money into a SPIA. What is a SPIA? It is a single premium immediate annuity, right? An annuity, that is very similar to a pension. Unlike the pensions where they don't pass down to your children and your grandchildren, annuities absolutely can have a beneficiary. That is your child or your grandchild. I bring that point up because there were other people in the comments saying, oh, well, pensions you can't pass down to your kids and your grandkids. Actually, in annuities you can. So, and I've actually known people who have been able to collect pensions from their parents. So every plan is different. Now, why would this individual say put the money into a SPIA? Well, let me tell you, let me show you. Because if you have $1,000,000 inside of a 401k, you can only take out $40,000 a year. Now, you'll have Social Security, of course, and that may give you another $30,000, $40,000 a year. However, you are going to potentially run out of money if you take out more than $40,000 out of that $1,000,000 that you have inside of your 401k. That's important because a lot of people are already living off of more than $70,000 of income now. And as we look at inflation, it's probably going to get more expensive. Also, if it's all in a pre-tax 401k, then we have the tax situation. That means you're going to have to deplete more of that $40,000 in order to pay the taxes on that $40,000 from your $1,000,000 401k. That's based on the 4% rule. However, I go in and I say, hey, SPIA, if I give you $1,000,000, how much income would you give me per year? The 401k said it's going to give me 40,000. This said that it would give me 70,000. That's a hell of a lot of difference because that 70,000 plus your Social Security now puts you up to $100,000 in retirement. That gives you more money to pay the taxes. That gives you more money to travel. That gives you more money to do all of the things. So in the respect that, yes, most of us will probably never have a pension, you can still create what we call a private pension with the annuities. So, I talk a lot about annuities, and the reason why I actually want to start people into annuities earlier is so they can already build up their guaranteed lifetime income, just like our parents and our grandparents who worked on a job for 30 years. They have a plan that goes with them for the next 30 years, no matter where they work. They can change jobs, they can move jobs, they will still already have that annuity in place that will be creating those credits, those longevity credits that would allow them to have a bigger sum of money for retirement. So the moral of the story of today is I want y'all to start putting that annuity in your financial lexicon. Start doing the research on it now. There are a bunch of annuities that don't have fees. If you want to be able to create that guaranteed income stream, you may pay a 1% fee, but you're going to pay that 1% fee for the guarantee. And that is one thing that your 401k can never do. That is one thing that your crypto can never do, is guarantee you that passive income for the rest of your life. All right, y'all. Have an amazing day. Smooches.